everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Izzy and today I have another video for you guys. I am so excited for this video. I will be talking about the top 10 books that I read in the year of 2022. Now I am filming this video December 29th, so there's still 2 more days, but I doubt that I'm going to be able to finish another book in terms of where in the book I'm reading and what books that I'm reading. So I think this is it. I think this is the cutoff. For the year of 2022, I read a total of 70 books. My goal for the year of 2022 was to read 55 books, and I did read 70, so I did surpass that goal. I am planning on reading 75 books for the next year, and it was very hard to pick the top 10 books out of 70. Now, picking the top 10 books was complicated. It was hard. There were so many good books that I read, but numbering them and putting them in order from 10 to number 1 was just the hardest task I've done this year. There are many books that I really enjoyed and for many different reasons, so the interpretation of that book varies, but I did manage to put them in order as well. So I picked the top 10 out of the 70 books that I read in 2022. They were all great books. They were all 5 stars, and I'm going to be talking about them today. So I'm going to go ahead and start with book number 10 in ranking and go all the way to my top number 1 favorite book of the year. So number 10 is Anatomy: A Love Story and is written by Dana Schwartz. This book is a historical fiction. It has mystery, it has gore, it is gothic, it has some fantasy, and it is horror. So we follow the main character Hazel, who is in Edinburgh in 1817, and she wants to become a surgeon. We also follow Jack, who is considered a resurrection man. What that means is when corpses have been freshly buried, he digs them back up and he sells the bodies. So Hazel, of course, she is living at a time when women do not become surgeons, women do not study, women do not go for something as gruesome as surgery. You know, women basically don't work at all, they don't study. Of course, Hazel wants to study anatomy and she wants to learn more about being a surgeon. So she convinces a doctor, if she passes the medical examination on her own, that she can be enrolled in a university where she can study anatomy. Now, of course, in order to study anatomy, she needs bodies. So her and Jack team up. He helps her get the bodies that she needs in order for her to study for this exam. And they basically pair up, they start a friendship, they start falling in love. I really love the story. I love how Hazel is determined to follow her dreams. She is determined to do whatever it takes in order for her to go and study medicine. This is what she loves to do, what she sees herself doing. I really loved the characters. I loved the connection between Hazel and Jack, and the ending of this book was a huge cliffhanger. So of course I did mention the second book to this, I guess, duology or series that is going to be coming out next year, and I'm excited to pick that one up. But I do highly recommend Anatomy: A Love Story. Ranking at number 9 is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This book is heavy on Greek mythology. It is full of mystery and thriller. It has lots of suspense. So we follow Mariana, who used to be a student at the Cambridge University, and she finds herself back at the university where she meets Edward Fosca. Edward Fosca is a professor in the Greek department, and he is very charming, he is very handsome, he has a way with words, he is very intelligent. A lot of students want to take his classes. Now, Edward Fosca has this group of girls called the Maidens, and it is very weird. The Maidens kind of praise this professor in a very unhealthy way, and it's kind of like a cult thing. Like, he is very specific in selecting these girls, and they even wear like white vestments, and they keep to themselves, they only talk to each other, just very odd. And when these women, these young ladies, they start to die one by one by very gruesome murders, Mariana starts suspecting that Edward Fosca is behind these murders. And even worse is that these girls are in on it. They are kind of offering themselves up as like sacrifices. It is based on like a Greek mythology story. So Mariana starts investigating the Maidens, and she starts investigating Professor Edward Fosca and wants to reveal that he is actually the one killing all these girls, but nobody believes her. This book has a huge plot twist in the end, so if you are into plot twists, I do highly recommend this. It is gripping. It has like WTF moments. It is very aesthetic in a way. It is dark academia as it is set in Cambridge University, so the setting of this just makes this a lot more attractive in a way. This book is great. Just the Greek mythology and the story really drove this book to be in my top 10, and also a really great read. Next up, ranking number 8 is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This book is contemporary fiction. It is also literary fiction. The writing in this book is beautiful. We follow Tova, who is widowed and also lost her son out to sea. And we also follow Marcellus, a giant Pacific octopus in an aquarium. So we follow Tova as she deals and copes with the losses in her life, and we see a very unlikely friendship form between the two. This book is full of hope, full of friendship, it is full of family. It is a tearjerker in a happy ending kind of way. I really enjoyed the ending, and throughout the book I was just like hoping for the best for Tova. I feel like I had a really deep connection with Tova. She's very sincere, she's kind. It really makes you just want to root for her and for her to have a happy ending. So ranking at number 7 is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. This book is very gothic, it has horror, paranormal activity, mystery, thriller. It is the works. So this book is set in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence, and we follow young Beatriz who marries young Rodolfo, and with this marriage she inherits an hacienda. Now she is super excited to make this house her own. She finally has her own home and she just wants to redecorate it. She wants to make it all her own because it is an abandoned hacienda, but she soon finds out that this place isn't very homey. This book is full of like scary, vivid scenes, lots of paranormal activity. Like, this book gave me the chills. It was such a great read. Like I said, it was very vivid. While I was reading this, I could really picture what was going on. It was fully immersive, chilling, and I can't wait to find another read similar like this so that I can pick it up. Now, ranking at number 6 is The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. This book is magical realism. It has thriller, it has mystery. It is sort of like a fantasy read as well. So we follow Nell Young, whose career as a cartographer was ruined by her father. Nell has this map which basically embarks her on a journey to discover why this certain map led to her downfall. But then she finds herself in the middle of dark secrets and a very kind of tragic situation where magic is involved. This book is slowly revealing secrets, and literally from beginning to end it is very gripping because of that. As you read, you want to know more about what is going on, what happened in the past. It is just slowly revealing. It had me hooked from the start. Such an amazing book. Highly recommend this. So coming in on number 5 is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This book is a psychological thriller. There's mystery, there's suspense, and the biggest plot twist ever. I have never read a plot twist like this one before. Oh my goodness, it was so good. So we follow Adam and Amelia, whose marriage is tearing apart, and so they go on this trip, kind of try to rebuild their marriage and save the marriage that they have. So they go to this abandoned church, now turned into a cabin, and it is in the middle of nowhere. It is very isolated and it is very snowy outside as well. So the setting of this is just snowstorm and isolation, just the two of them, and they both hold very dark secrets. So these secrets are basically going to make or break the relationship. One very interesting thing about this book is that Adam, the husband, he actually suffers from this thing where he does not recognize faces. Can't recognize his own face. He can't recognize the face of his wife. He kind of like sees a blur and basically recognizes people off of like their body features or their personality, their voice, but not the face. So like I said, this book had the biggest plot twist I've ever read, and it kind of made me like think back from the beginning of the book, and I kind of reread this book in a new light. It is very interesting the way that it happened. Again, if you're into plot twist, highly recommend this one. The setting, everything was just perfect. So ranking at number 4 is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. This book is also a retelling in Greek mythology. We follow Ariadne, or Ariadne, as she helps Theseus, who is the prince of Athens. He needs her help to murder Ariadne's half-brother, who is a minotaur, and he actually lives in a dark maze under the palace. So this creature is bloodthirsty, and Theseus just really needs her help to murder the minotaur. Of course, Ariadne falls head over heels for Theseus and helps him murder her half-brother. Ariadne leaves behind her sister Phaedra and her home. Now, the reason why I really enjoyed this book is because in a way it's very feminist. The writing is amazing. I really enjoyed it. There were many note-taking worthy quotes in this book, and I didn't annotate this. I really regret not doing that. If I reread this, I'm definitely going to tab many quotes. And even in the back, sister, lover, traitor, hero, that is like the definition of this book. The way that these male characters are written in this book is like so trashy. You just really hate the men written in this book. I can't explain my hatred for Theseus, but a very interesting read. I've got to say, it had some slow parts in it, but overall just the content of the book was very good, making this my top 4th book. Ranking at number 3, I have The Maid by Nita Prose. This book is so funny. It is also a thriller. It has mystery. It's got crime. It is set in a hotel. So we follow Molly, who is a maid at a Regency Grand Hotel, a very upscale hotel where very rich people go to stay. So her position in cleaning these rooms is kind of like really high risk. And Molly has like really bad social skills. She is very gullible. She doesn't understand that people have bad intentions. She has a very hard time and misreads the intentions of others. She is also one that takes things very literally. She really doesn't know how to speak sarcasm and understand sarcasm. So we kind of follow her being a maid at this hotel, and she has very high standards for cleaning. She has very proper etiquette. So then Molly finds herself in the middle of a situation. She finds a very rich man murdered in one of the rooms, and so her being a maid and having, you know, connection in the hotel, she is one of the suspects, so she needs to prove herself innocent. And to me, the reason why this book ranked at number 3 is because the character is so lovable. I fell in love with Molly as a person. Can't explain how much this character means to me. It hurts me that she was taken advantage of, but seeing her thrive and seeing her learn what it is to fend for herself was something that I really admired. If you want to fall in love with the main character, honestly pick this up. I want to know more about Molly. I want to know more stories about Molly. I want to read more about her because truly she is an incredible character. And I think I did mention this, but this book is hilarious. So if you want to read a mystery thriller with comedy, I really do highly recommend this book. Coming at ranked number 2 is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I'm so proud of this copy. I have a signed copy. Here is her signature. I remember seeing that she stopped by at my local Barnes & Noble, and my husband ran and got this for me the next day. So shout out to my husband, love you. This book, wow. This is a mystery thriller. It is sort of really dark, so I do recommend that you check the trigger warnings for this, mostly for child endangerment. But basically, we follow Lowen, who is a writer, and she is basically struggling, and then she is contacted by Jeremy Crawford, who is the husband of the best-selling author Verity Crawford. Now Verity, she had an accident and she is sick and she is unable to finish her series, so Jeremy reached out to Lowen to finish Verity's series, and so Lowen accepts, even though she doesn't think she is qualified to write her books. Nonetheless, she accepts the job and she goes and lives with Jeremy Crawford and Verity Crawford. So she goes and stays at their house, and she is taken to Verity's office where she has many notes. So Lowen goes through all these notes. She goes through all her writings to see what Verity's intentions were in terms of finishing the series. And as she is looking through Verity's notes, she finds a very bone-chilling manuscript. This manuscript is an unfinished biography of Verity and has many dark and disturbing secrets about Verity Crawford. It is also very suspenseful and in a way scary. The entire time Lowen is in danger, like from the beginning to the end. And this is a standalone and should remain a standalone. I don't care what anyone says. I do highly recommend this. I've recommended this to everyone. I adore Colleen Hoover. I love the fact that she got many people into reading, but this has got to be her best book yet, in my opinion. And ranking at number 1, I have American Royals by Catherine McGee. So I kind of cheated. I technically want to include the whole series of American Royals, but if that's not allowed, then I'll just talk about American Royals, the first book. And it is a romance alternate history kind of series, and the premise of this series is very interesting. We basically follow the American Royals. So in this world, after the American Revolution, Americans crowned George Washington as their king. So we now follow the United States not as a democracy but as a monarchy. So we follow the American Royals. We follow Beatrice, who is the oldest one, and she is next in line to succeed the throne after her father. And she also has 2 younger siblings, Samantha and Jefferson, who are twins. So this book has many lovable characters. It is full of love triangles, lots of drama. There are many people to ship in relationships in this book. It's ridiculous. There is lots of rivalries, lots of breaking the rules, and again, the love triangles. very spicy, very good. I highly recommend this series. This series quickly became my top favorite series of all time. Like, I devoured these books and I can't wait for the fourth one to come out next year. So that is it. That is all that I have for you guys. My top 10 favorite books of the year 2022. Again, very hard to pick 10 out of 70 books I read in this year, but here you go. And even harder was for me to rank them, but here you go. So hope you enjoyed this video. So comment down below what were your top 3 favorite books of this year. I would like to know. If you don't know what to comment but you still want to support my channel, comment any royalty emoji down below in the comment section. You can also like this video. That also helps my channel a lot. And if you're enjoying the content so far, go ahead and subscribe, and I promise there's more content to come. I have some really great ideas for this coming year. Look forward to more videos from me. I have my December wrap up coming up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.